However, in his pursuit of the Japanese star, he manages to log the fastest lap. The Malaysia manoeuvre makes it clear that the Italian has not given up defending the #1 plate in the 125s just for a simple learning year in the 250s. In Jerez, third Grand Prix of the season, he takes his first podium finish in the quarter litres, finishing second behind Capirossi after having shaken Jacques off his tail. His desire to win and his boldness sometimes come at a painful price, and in Harada he goes to ground to end a run of 3 consecutive second places. The Italian's first time on the top step of the 250cc podium comes on Saturday, June the 27th, 1998, at the legendary Assen TT circuit. Rossi continues to show his ability to ride at pace and shows that to talk of an apprentice year in front of him is merely taboo, and he fears nobody in the class. Donington Park and Valentino Rossi have a love-hate relationship. In his first year of 125s, mechanical gremlins struck. He won a year later, but this time the coin lands tailside up once again. Valentino's race ends with a crash, whilst Capirossi and Harada continue their battle to be #1 in the class. Following that comes the Saxon Ring, and he's back on the podium once more. But at Brno, things don't go Rossi's way, and he's unable to claim 3 successive Grand Prix wins at the track. The Valentino fans begin to get themselves noticed at Imola. The Rossi phenomenon seems to transcend mere sporting fanaticism. They worship their hero, not only for his huge talent and courage, but also for the charisma he conveys with every action on and off the track. Being on home ground, the bike is decked out in the Italian tricolour. And Rossi turns the race into a domestic affair, taking on his fellow nationals Capirossi and Perugini for victory. The Italian tifosi are ecstatic at the victory ceremony, which sees their hero draped in the Italian flag. The championship reaches its climax at Phillip Island and the penultimate GP of the year. A second-to-last push in the title battle between Capirossi and Harada. Nevertheless, being mathematically out of the challenge, Valentino's not afraid to steal the show. And with victory in Australia, he sets the scene for an interesting and dramatic denouement to the championship. It's Argentina and the last Grand Prix of the year, and the destination of the quarter-litre crown still up in the air. Capirossi and Harada are the only 2 capable of winning, but Rossi doesn't have the slightest intention of being mere referee in their slug-out. The whole race is dominated by the 3 factory Aprilias, with the Hondas of Jacques and Ukawa having lost ground after the halfway point. Harada's led for much of the way, and Capirossi fights back to race alongside Rossi for a couple of laps. But on the penultimate bend, Rossi tries a near-impossible overtaking manoeuvre on Harada. The 2 riders touch, Harada crashes out, and the race victory goes to Valentino, who's been a mere witness to the drama all around him. With Harada on the ground and without scoring, Rossi finishes his first year of the 250cc class second, 23 points off the winner Capirossi, and with 5 GP wins, including the last 4 in a row. A year later, Rossi is the one and only Aprilia factory challenger in the category. Capirossi has moved to Honda. Harada is on the V-twin in the 500s. The beginning of the season hasn't quite gone to plan. In Sepang, he finishes 5th, and in Motegi takes 7th place. Capirossi has begun the season with a win, and Ukawa and Nakano are also on form, the latter victorious in Motegi. However, Jerez arrives and Valentino begins to mark out his territory, taking the first of 9 victories, which will eventually give him the title. As ever, with a return to Italy, Rossi has another change of image. His bike and kit radically transformed for Mugello. This race comes after another frustrating time at Paul Ricard, where he takes pole and fastest lap, but no points. An incident at the start of the race means disqualification for Capirossi, and the Honda rider is further away from his aspirations to defend the 250cc crown. Valentino wins after ridding himself of Waldman and Ukawa. The Japanese rider is the one who's looking like Rossi's most direct rival. At the Catalunya circuit, the Ukawa-Honda partnership once again proves itself as the only challenger to the Rossi-Aprilia collaboration. They battle throughout most of the race, and at the end, only 2/10 swing the balance in favour of the Italian, whose celebration routine proves to be the most extravagant yet. Capirossi robs him of victory at Assen by just under 2/10, but at Donington Park he returns the favour by taking a second out of his compatriot's challenge, setting off a streak of 3 consecutive victories. Sachsenring is leg 2 of this winning streak, and furthermore Ukawa scores a 0 and gives up more ground in the fight for the #1 spot. Now Capirossi is recovering ground, but there's plenty to be made up. This time, Ralph Waldman is the one trying to make things difficult. But at the flag, it's the Italian once again. Rossi claims the Crystal Trophy. A clear defeat at the hands of Capirossi in Imola and an 8th place in Valencia, coupled with an Ukawa victory, keep the title battle alive. But when he arrives in Phillip Island, it's Rossi who's out to make it clear who's the boss in the quarter litres. The Yamahas of Jacques and Nakano have improved greatly during the season, and in Australia they're hard to beat. But down under, it's Rossi who's on top of the world once again. The Phillip Island victory could prove worthless if it isn't followed up by something equally good. Rossi finds that continuity in Welcome, South Africa, where Jacques and Nakano are not only his closest rivals, but help him in the title hunt by finishing ahead of Ukawa and Capirossi. Rossi once again shows his mettle and has one hand on the title. October the 24th, 1999, at the Nelson Piquet circuit in Jacarepaguá. Rossi has his first chance to become world champion this year, but if he doesn't clinch it here, he can still do it in Argentina. The Aprilia boy has shown many times in the past that he doesn't have the patience to wait in the face of an opportunity like this. Jacques has taken pole position, but in the race, the most dangerous rival is still Ukawa, the only one who can delay Rossi's title celebrations. In the end, the Italian wins both the race and the title in one fell swoop.
I'm delighted. Yesterday I thought that winning the championship by winning the race would be the best. But when the front group closed up, it seems that it would be more difficult because Ukawa and Perugini were going very strongly. By the end, I was able to come through and win by putting in a great last 2 laps. I'm happy and I want to thank my team, my family and above all my fans.
At just 20, Rossi already has 2 world championships under his belt. After this victory in the 250s, he knows exactly where he wants to be next. He wants to be in the highest class of motorcycle racing in the world.